This is Sound Ideas on WGLT. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has submitted his paperwork to get on Illinois' ballot this spring. But his filing with the State Board of Elections was met with drama on multiple fronts. Politics reporter Dave McKinney broke two stories on Trump's candidacy for Illinois' March 19th primary. He spoke with Melba Lara from Chicago Public Media.
Dave, let's start first with your story from the weekend. Trump is refusing to sign Illinois' loyalty oath. What is that?
Well, Melba, Illinois has had this obscure document that candidates sometimes submit as part of their election paperwork. It dates back to the 1950s, and it's really a vestige from the McCarthy Red Scare era. The oath used to be a compulsory thing in order to get on the ballot, and candidates had to assert that they weren't communists and, in the line that's relevant to Trump, won't advocate for the overthrow of the government. Now, federal courts have determined long ago that this oath is unconstitutional on free speech grounds, but the legislature, they never took it out of Illinois' law books, so it remains for candidates to sign or not sign when they submit paperwork to get on the ballot.
And Donald Trump's not signing that, is he?
Well, that's where the drama comes in. When Trump ran as a presidential candidate in Illinois in 2016 and in 2020, he signed the loyalty oath, but not this time. I literally stumbled upon this when I was looking at who was circulating Trump's nominating petitions this time, and I noticed that the loyalty oath was missing. And so I called a source at the State Board of Elections, and he confirmed that that was the case. Now, Trump's campaign gave me a statement, but it didn't really provide a reason why he didn't sign it after doing it two previous times. And let's remember the timing here, Melba. Trump chose not to submit this just days before the 3-year anniversary of the January 6th insurrection, for which he's been criminally charged.
And Dave, I noticed this weekend that this got a lot of attention. Even President Biden was weighing in on the story.
I know. President Biden's campaign, they didn't know about this until I called them. They soon began circulating the story because it coincided with a major speech that Biden delivered on Trump's role in the January 6th insurrection. On Facebook, Biden said, and I quote here, "I said Donald Trump is willing to sacrifice our democracy to put himself in power. I wasn't exaggerating." Now, Biden signed Illinois' loyalty oath, as did Republican Ron DeSantis, but Republicans Nikki Haley and Chris Christie did not.
Dave, I want to move on to another sticking point with Trump's candidacy. When he did file in Illinois, he was met with a challenge to his nominating petitions to get him booted from the ballot over his ties to the January 6th riot. This is also happening in other states. Why is this an issue in Illinois?
Well, yeah, as you point out, there are pending objections to Trump's candidacy in 15 other states. And 2 states, Colorado and Maine, they've already knocked him off the ballot. In Illinois and all of those states, the objections center on language in the 14th Amendment that was ratified right after the Civil War, and the language bars insurrectionists from seeking public office. Here in Illinois, the objection was brought by a national voting rights group, 5 Illinois voters, and 2 law firms from Chicago. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court recently agreed to review the Colorado case, and a decision is really going to dictate the direction that this Illinois objection goes.
And until the U.S. Supreme Court weighs in procedurally, what's going to happen next in Illinois?
We're 10 weeks out from our primary elections, and the first step here is the objection is going to go to the nonpartisan State Board of Elections, and they're going to have a meeting on this January 30th. If this group of objectors doesn't get what it wants from the state election board, and the U.S. Supreme Court still hasn't given any kind of guidance here, I think what you're going to see is that this is going to move into Illinois' court system. And what you have to remember about the Illinois Supreme Court, where all of this could land, there's a 5-2 Democratic majority on the court.
Dave, always great to talk to you. Thanks for the update.
Thanks, Melba.
That was politics reporter Dave McKinney speaking with Melba Lara.